Subscribe to the Lightsport and Ultralight Flyer web video magazine with hundreds and hundreds of videos now online, including airshow coverage, Rotax engine tech tips, Rotax 377, 447, 503, 532, and 582 engine rebuilding videos, each 2 hours in length, propeller maintenance, advisories and repairs, BRS parachute saves, Bing carb updates, and much, much more. Get a yearly subscription at www.ultralightflyer.com. We're down here in Paradise City, and you have a gentleman that I don't think you and I have interviewed before.
You know, I don't think we have, because we started this after the Allegro was a bright spot in light sport aviation. This was one of our early success stories, but speaking here today with Doug Hempstead, and now it's Allegro USA. And there's a big difference about that, and we're going to hear some more about it too. But welcome to Sun and Fun 2011, the interesting year of weather here. But looks like you survived well, and you got a handsome airplane outside, and we'll be looking at that too. But welcome to Sun and Fun. Tell me a little bit about what's going on with Allegro USA, LSA. We know this is a foreign airplane. That's changing.
And it is. Thanks, Dan. It's great to be here, and I appreciate being with you. And we're officially LSA America. We DBA as Allegro LSA, and you're right, it is changing. The Allegro was formerly built in the Czech Republic. It was built by Fantasy Air. We've actually bought that company, all the rights to the aircraft, and we've moved everything here to the United States. And after a lot of legal issues that we had to get through, I'm proud to say that we have full production starting on the 11th of April, and it'll be in Littleton, North Carolina. We've worked with a number of different states, and that was where our incentive package came through. And we have Czech people coming over. 4 of our Czech people that were formerly with Fantasy Air will be here on the 8th, with again working with us on production starting the 11th. 2 of those will stay with us as permanent employees. The other 2 will go back and become our European distributors. And of course, by having a Czech division, it holds in place all our certifications in Europe, which include the Czech Republic, Germany, France, and so forth. So all of those hold in place, and we're really bucking the trend here. Instead of sending jobs overseas, we're bringing jobs to America and production to the United States. And there's some real advantages here, not only for the U.S. market, but we have some advantages going back the other way because the disparity between the dollar and the euro. We're actually able to sell the aircraft back less than they were able to buy it for in Europe.
Pretty amazing change there to think about that. Back up 5 years ago, Eastern Europe had a huge price advantage over the U.S. The euro was about at parity at the beginning of this thing, and they had really low wages. Good for them, their wages have come up. Bad for us, the euro's also gone up, and suddenly airplanes that were quite a bargain have become much less of a bargain. But this, you're now going to be in North Carolina.
Correct.
But for a while this had sort of a West Coast address, and things changed, and now you're bringing it back home, if you will.
And you're absolutely right. Originally we formed a partnership with a company out in Oregon, and it was for production only, and we were actually partnering with the people at the Homesick Angels LLC who were doing the Vampire 2-place aircraft. And again, talking about the Vampire, how we were partnering with them, some exciting things are happening there. Again, the Allegro is our premier aircraft, and that's what we're going to be concentrating on right now. But we also have the rights to the Vampire Junior, which is a single place, and the 2-place Vampire that we're working with them again to bring it to market as an SLSA. We'll be working on that yet this year. We hope to have a real surprise for Sebring next year, and that we're looking at bringing the Vampire Junior, which is a single place, high-performance SLSA single place, to the marketplace.
I believe that'd be our first single place SLSA when you can achieve that with the Vampire. The Vampire, we did a video on that too, and that's available for people to see, but that was the 2-place Vampire, kind of a big aircraft. The original one was a single place,
right.
And that's a nice little lean aircraft that's got kind of a fighter-looking instinct to it, and you're talking about an interesting engine for that.
We are. We're because it's going to be SLSA, we need an SLSA engine, and HKS has that opportunity. We've been working with them for a while. We think that we're have a deal that we're putting together where they're going to be able to furnish us with that engine. It's the HKS 700E, which is the 65 horse 4-stroke 4-cylinder engine, 2-cylinder.
2-cylinder engine, 4-stroke.
4-stroke.
And yeah, you said it's an SLSA engine. I think what you meant was it has ASTM certification
Thank
to
you.
it.
And
That's the Rotax, the Jabiru, and the HKS.
Right.
I believe are the only three. Of course, Continental and Lycoming are out there, but those don't go through that process. But those are the three engines that you would choose from. The Continental Lycoming, of course, wouldn't be at all appropriate for a single place. But that little 700E, that's a small, compact engine. And 65 horsepower on a single place, I'm thinking might give it some pretty impressive performance.
Well, we think so. The engineering on it right now looks like this thing will cruise in the 115 to 120 mile per hour range with a max speed of probably about 133. And that's getting up there on the Lightsport, particularly for a single place. But this will give wonderful performance, wonderful stall characteristics for those people that are looking for something that they can fly. And quite honestly, there's always been a stigma out there that where's the lower cost Lightsport that we're promised. Well, we're looking to do our best to deliver that.
So in the single place world, there are people that'll say, well, you know, why would I ever want a single place? I mean, if I have a second seat, I can take somebody along with me. Well, that's true, but AOPA has surveyed this for years and years and years, and the average occupancy, this is of a GA airplane, this has nothing to do with Lightsport. The average occupancy of a GA airplane is 1.6 people. Now that means an awful lot of the time, because those are 4, sometimes 6-seat aircraft, that means an awful lot of the time those airplanes are flown with one person in them. And therefore, you're paying for all those extra seats, carrying all that extra weight along, bigger engine, everything that you need is more complicated, so that makes the airplane heavier, use more fuel, all the rest of that, but it also makes it quite a bit more expensive. You think you can come in a lot lower?
We believe we can. And I'd rather not quote a price at this time because we're still working on that, but we'll probably be less than half of what we're looking for like, say, an Allegro. And keep in mind, the Allegro is the value leader among two-place Lightsport aircraft. So, you know, when you look at our aircraft, we're $20,000 to $30,000 to $40,000 less than our closest competitor. We offer true value with the aircraft, and we believe we're going to be able to offer real value as well for our single place unit.
Well, let's put a little finer point on that number as long as we're talking about it. Not the single place, which we understand is still a project in the works and you can't know what the costs are going to be yet. But on the Allegro, and now you're doing the 2007 Allegro, which was a significant change from the earlier, also nice flying 2000 model, but there were some nice changes. Tail volume got bigger and some things of that type. But what kind of price point do you put? What's the base price? Let's call it that.
We have
tell me a little bit about it.
A classic trainer that is $89,000 delivered. And that $89,000 comes complete with absolutely everything you would need to fly, to train, full light package, wheel pants, cabin heat, radio transponder, turn and bank indicator, on and on and on. It's a very well equipped, very nice aircraft, and again, $89,000 delivered.
And built in the USA.
Built in the USA.
An interesting thing. We've seen more and more of this kind of development, but Doug and his wife Betty are kind of leading the charge here. One of the early companies to say, hey, we could probably do that here. Even though they had a huge price advantage over us when we started, as we mentioned earlier, now we've got a competitive situation where American manufacturing can be not only good and back here at home, but very price competitive.
Well, it is, and not to name names, but when some of our larger manufacturers went to China, we looked at that and said, you know, we're asking Americans to buy these products. We need to have Americans making these products, and we believe this for a long time. I'm just a real believer of buying made in America products. So you're right. We invested virtually everything we own to make this happen because we believe in the aircraft that much, and we believe in the American market that much. And then when we look at what's available on the international market as well, we believe we made the right choice. And there are about 500 of these flying around the world because they've been in production in Europe for years and years and years. We have a parts backup that is just pretty phenomenal. So we're confident of our success and are really pleased to be able to bring such a great aircraft to American production.
Well, we want to give you best wishes. I know you've been working at this long and hard now for about 3 years or maybe longer than that.
About 2.5 to 3 years.
Yeah,
right?
So a pretty long time. It's a lot of effort, no revenue coming in because you're still doing plans. So You're getting way out there, and we're glad to see you just about to the trigger point now. Glad you're getting support out of the state. That's great. It's all good stuff. Where can we get some more information? Tell me about your website.
AllegroLSA.com. www.allegrolsa.com.
Excellent.
And do you have a flight report on this airplane, Dan?
Well, not the 2007. We're going to fix that here this week, we hope. But the 2000, I do have a pilot report on. You can find that on bydanjohnson.com or bydanjohnson.com.